Hey, it's Tom again, CEO and co-founder of BuddyBoss, and today I'm joined with Graham, and we're super excited to share with you a very special update video of what we've been up to in the last few months and what's coming next at BuddyBoss. Get ready, this is going to be longer than usual. I will have all the timestamps marked below if you need to jump to a particular section. In this video, we'll tell you about updates from our customer support and success teams, and we'll be revealing our new support portal, product updates on BuddyBoss Web, what we've released in the last 3 months, and what's currently in development. This includes details on Zoom, Tutor LMS, and reactions updates. The BuddyBoss app progress with more details of our new UI system and what this means for future feature development. We're going to briefly discuss AI and how we want to hear your suggestions. We're going to share with you what we're doing internally with some key role changes. We'll share other exciting updates from our services team, and we'll end this video with details about changes to my role at BuddyBoss and a huge announcement that we're all super excited about. So Graham, over to you for this update.
Now that I've got your attention, and before we start with the updates, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on the bell icon so you're always up to date with what's happening here at BuddyBoss. For customer success, Thomas and the team have been working extremely hard on improving our documentation and training resources. In the past few months, the team have updated our Academy courses and released 2 guides, one on how to publish your BuddyBoss app, along with a course on configuring in-app purchases. These are great resources to build your app in your own schedule, while we also continue to provide onboarding support through both one-to-one and group calls. If you're a new app customer, don't forget to watch our app onboarding course via the link emailed to you and join the call with Thomas if you need more help. For those app customers already launched, don't forget you can always attend our onboarding forum call to join the discussion and get any questions answered. We still plan to extend the open forum to BuddyBoss theme and platform customers later this year, as well as publish a BuddyBoss Platform Academy course. On the customer support side, I'm happy to share that our live chat has been extended to a 24/7 service, and we're seeing a lot of positive responses. While this is limited to our first-line support team, we're now looking to expand this in the near future to our technical support team too, and sales team. This way, we can continue to improve our support services to you. In 2022, we switched help desk solutions to Freshdesk, and it's made a huge improvement to our ticket handling processes. But the knowledge base visually left a little bit to be desired. While the content has been great, we knew it wasn't a great experience to find solutions, so our team started work on restyling this site at the start of the year and is now live. Not only has it had a visual makeover though, our support and success teams have been working together, updating and continue to work on improving the content. We've also moved all our tutorials to the knowledge base and will start providing support articles for all of our integrations too. While we continue to provide a 24/7 support service, our knowledge base is the perfect place to begin looking for answers before submitting a support ticket. At this point, we've got more than 1,300 articles and have had more than 140,000 views. So if you're finding an article does not provide a suitable answer for you, please do share your feedback at the bottom of the result so our support team and success team can continue using your feedback to provide better solutions. Before we move to the product updates, I do want to share some insights into our ticket queues. Last year, we were getting an average of 4,000 tickets a month, and this was often causing our ticket queues to back up rather than going down. This led to us expanding our technical support teams last year and making internal changes to ticket handling so we could be more responsive and resolve your tickets as soon as possible. I'm happy to say that this year our ticket queues have been significantly reduced for a variety of reasons. But a huge impact has been made by our support team, who have done a tremendous job of pushing ticket queues down and have achieved more than a 92% customer satisfaction rating. As it stands, we've typically got less than 100 to 125 active tickets open at any time. And this means for many of you, when you submit a ticket, there is no queue and our team can immediately begin working on your issue. In the next month or two, we're going to be making more changes to our ticket handling, which means when you submit a technical support ticket, it will go straight to our technical team to review. The goal of this change is to minimize the back and forth for you and put you in contact with the appropriate team member instantly. Secondly, we're going to update our ticket submission form. so that if your website or app is offline, you can let us know, and we're going to prioritize these issues with a higher escalation status to get you back online as quickly as we can. Finally, we're going to start rolling out automated ticket updates for issues that may be waiting on our product team to resolve. While our support team would love to give you a timeline for bug fixes, it's impossible for them to know. However, this automated status update will let you know when a bug is in development, in the hands of our QA team, when it's passed, and when it's scheduled for release. We ultimately want to be more transparent with our bug fixes, and we've worked hard to reduce the backlog of these issues. So with this automation in place, you'll also have improved communication from us without needing to request a status update. In the past, we've had feedback about tickets being open for long periods of time for bug fixes. And typically this has led to a bad impression to our support team. But it's ultimately held up with development. When we switched to Jira at the start of 2022, we had an enormous backlog with more than 2,000 issues. This meant that we were constantly battling between addressing some of our bugs while still pushing heavily forward with new features such as live messaging. By the end of 2022 though, we decided to change our strategy and focus on improving existing user experience by focusing on bugs with a goal of closing between 60 and 70% of bugs by the end of the year. While we did fall slightly short of that goal, we did feel a positive impact it made to customers, and we've continued that. By February this year, we'd closed more than 80% of bugs in the BuddyBoss app, and the web team, although they had a bigger backlog, have also worked in this approach. While it means we have had slower releases of new features, we had a goal in mind. Through the start of 2023, we've internally committed to releasing at least one new feature or enhancement each month. But the rest of the time was to be spent on bug fixes. This means in terms of our bi-weekly releases, more than 80% of our development time has been spent on bugs, and the other 20% is on new features. Since January, that has now enabled us to close more than 1,100 bugs, and I'm so excited to share that we're now at a tipping point. By the end of this month, our app team will have completely cleared any known and reported bugs, and the web team are not too far behind. As we start going into the second half of this year, we'll be able to transition to a development team that focus majority of the time on new features and enhancements, while still maintaining an empty backlog of bugs between each update. I cannot emphasize how much of a milestone this has been for us. It's the first time in several years, and it just means we're going to be able to provide a much better product experience for all of our users. We do have a plan outlined for our 2023 features, and so let me share what we've released since our last update and what's yet to come. Following up from our last video update, we've now released improved moderation. This was a logic update which provided a consistent approach to how we block and suspend users and how they're shown across the platform. In the past, we've had a lot of inquiries about what certain users would see when blocked or how particular users would engage with each other, and this update makes a vast improvement. We've already released a video that gives you more information about this, and we provided a table that breaks down how each of these interactions will show up on the web and app. Next up, we released an update to user profile URLs, allowing you to replace a username with a unique identifier. This was very important to us as certain membership plugins use email addresses as a username and theoretically caused user emails to be easily identifiable. Now, upon release, there was some immediate feedback from customers about how identifiers were too long, and so our team took that feedback on board and have also released an enhancement to this feature that now makes it much shorter. We don't always get it right, and that's why constructive customer feedback is very important to us. While our roadmap helps us drive forward with big features of functionality through your insights, your direct feedback on our videos and email responses after releases enables us to collect the feedback and iterate on new features. We really do value, and we want to continue taking that feedback on board, and you'll see how our approach has changed some of our development plans in a few minutes. Some of the feature releases this year has made improvements to the experience for our followers and following, which aimed at increasing site engagement. When a new post was created, it provided a new user notification. Since our last update, we've now enabled the ability for your users to automatically follow someone after they've become connected. This now means your connections will automatically subscribe to notifications whenever they create a new activity post. Last month, we also released an improvement to link previews. In the past, if you wanted to share a link, you had to leave the URL in the post so that you could get an embed preview image. Now, you can remove the URL and the preview remains, giving your users a much cleaner experience when sharing news from external sites. We've also released a new option inside our theme settings, which allows you to set a different URL for both logged in and logged out users when they click the theme logo. And finally, we also had to update our integration with OneSignal using their newer APIs. If you're using web push notifications, please make sure you are using the latest version. Now I want to talk about our 3 biggest development tasks, and we're going to begin with Zoom. In June, they depreciated their JWT authentication, which currently means any of our newer BuddyBoss customers cannot configure the Zoom integration. It's unfortunately taken longer than we'd hoped, but we're working very closely with Zoom on this, and we should be releasing an update in the next couple of weeks which provides an updated solution. There will be a new video tutorial as soon as this update is available. If you are a customer that has already configured the Zoom integration, then your current integration will continue to work till September, and therefore you don't need to immediately make this change. Now our Tutor integration is still under work, and we've been discussing the scope with Tutor LMS directly to confirm and develop integration functionality. We know you've wanted this for a long time, and we see your comments on every video. Please understand that while we are also eager to release this integration, we have to balance it with development of our core app and web features. And as I explained earlier, we really needed to put a focus on fixing existing experiences ahead of new integrations. As of right now, I cannot provide a timescale beyond promising a release for this year, and to set correct expectations, I can confirm it is initially only going to be available for the BuddyBoss web. In order for us to provide a full app experience, as we have for LearnDash, we do need Tutor LMS to build their APIs. So if you wish for us to bring a native mobile experience to your customers, we would love for you to share that feedback with Tutor LMS, but until then, we're greatly looking forward to releasing this integration. Well, this feature we were hoping to release way earlier this year when we first announced both reactions and group subscriptions. In March, we did release group subscriptions, so what happened to reactions? Well, the biggest thing holding us back with a lot of the activity features is code performance. Over the last 18 months, we've made huge strides to improving the performance of our code base. This means a lot of under the hood updates, such as what we released in version 1.9 last year, and we've been stepping away from forked code when we released BuddyBoss Platform. If you recall, we rebuilt the entire notifications component last year and replaced it with our own notifications API for this reason. The activity feed is one of the most important components of the BuddyBoss platform, and it's also some of the most taxing. We're very considerate when it comes to looking at changes to any core components, and we have to pay special attention to both performance and scalability if we're going to make any changes. And this has always been the sticking point. Late last year, we separated our product team and now have a core group who head up the code architecture and research into new features and enhancements. They've been planning the code restructuring of the database activity, and we'll be releasing an update later this month, which splits the data from making sure there's no performance hits in future updates. And so this explains why Reactions hasn't yet been released. But on the upside, the new database structure is not only being done for Reactions, but it's also the long-term vision of all other activity feed-based features, which I'm going to be sharing later this video. Outside of these 3 big features, we're continuously adding new features across the platform. In the very next release, we're going to be adding a new enhancement to member access control, so that you can allow your members to message certain profile types, such as admins, teachers, support, or community managers without being connected. We'll also be working on the ability to allow members to edit their comments on the web and app. And I'm able to share that we'll be working on an email digest solution, enabling site administrators to combine groups of notifications in a single email. Once again, this wasn't a planned feature on the roadmap this year, but based on your feedback from all the work we've done with notifications and group subscriptions, we've prioritized this as a development need. Beyond this, and for the rest of 2023, we're going to focus heavily on activity feed requested features, such as closing comments, pinning posts, post sharing, scheduling activity posts, and so much more. And this is why restructuring the database has been such an important task for us. For the BuddyBoss app, we've added the ability for your users to bookmark posts. This was driven by a growing request by many of our app customers who want to provide their users an easy method to saving content to read in future. With push notifications, we recently updated our Google Firebase API and updated how we track device tokens, which will further improve the push notification delivery. Google have since announced last month that they will be depreciating the legacy version at the beginning of 2024. So while there isn't a requirement to update them now, we do recommend you use the newer APIs. We've also added GamiPress to access controls so that you can now restrict access by ranks or achievements. Access controls is still currently a labs feature, but we do plan to release it to the core product in the coming months. Analytics have also been improved using the newer generation of Google Analytics 4. If you have it configured, you'll see improved tracking under your Firebase or Google Analytics console. And outside of the features that we've also made a lot of improvements to our coding standards and are actively updating our core code app libraries. With the team on the final push to any reported bugs, we now have a big focus on updating our core libraries and the React Native version. Very soon, this will mean we're going to update our WebView library, and that will remove the need for us to have the Read More button displayed whenever you're showing non-native content. Instead, you're going to be able to render both native and non-native content together in a WebView, or decide whether you wish for the screen to completely ignore non-native content and load it all natively. Once that's been achieved, it's going to remove the need of having a separate app editor on all your pages, and therefore give you a much better publishing experience. From the design side of the app, we're currently creating an entirely new UI design system. We've learned a lot since the release of the BuddyBoss app and found the current method too slow to develop with and hard for our custom developers. So with this new UI, it's going to speed up our own internal development, and it's going to make it a lot easier for our custom development customers. Not only that, once we release this new design system, it's going to open up a lot of the app customizations such as dark mode, new blog layouts, customizable themes, and custom post type support. Finally, we're working on a unique app block which allows non-React Native developers to use PHP code and compile it natively. This is going to be an incredibly powerful feature, which should allow WordPress developers the ability to build their own blocks and integrate them with the BuddyBoss app. We're going to be sharing more details about this in our developer Slack channel soon, and we'll be reaching out to many of our integration partners so we can help them expand their BuddyBoss web integration into the app. Overall, our goal on the BuddyBoss app is to further increase the ability to customize your app without custom development, and continue improving upon the performance while still releasing the same amount of functionality as the BuddyBoss web. Outside of the BuddyBoss web and app, we're also closely watching the growing demand of AI using ChatGPT and other language models. And we're really keen to explore how we could implement new features inside both web and app. We've got a bunch of ideas we're going to start playing with, but at the same time, we'd love to have your suggestions, whether it's using AI to improve site administration tasks or creating community content. We want to hear from you. So on our roadmap, there's going to be a new card where you can leave your suggestions on what you'd like to see. In the next couple of months, we're going to be releasing a brand new service called Done For You Web. This service aims at helping new customers who need us to help rebrand, set up, and launch their BuddyBoss website. The end result is a beautifully branded website with a setup and configuration that aligns with your business objectives. Pre-configured with third-party plugins and a focus on simplicity with the best practices for a strong, reliable, and secure website foundation. We've had a lot of positive feedback from our customers who use the Done For You app service, and we've had multiple requests for the same experience on the web. So if you haven't started building your website yet and would love for help on BuddyBoss team, keep your eyes peeled for an email announcing the launch of this service soon. And our BuddyBoss agency is always available to help with more custom setups. We understand that having a unique solution that answers the needs of your audience is critical for any online business. And that's why we continue to help BuddyBoss clients build custom experiences tailored to their audience's specific needs. Our agency team have a proven track record of delivering high-quality solutions that cater to thousands and even millions of users. We've had the pleasure of working with startups, influencers, enterprise clients, and non-profit organizations, creating solutions that foster user engagement and interaction. If you have custom requirements for your project and need a team that can help you achieve your vision, reach out to the BuddyBoss agency for an initial consultation and speak to one of our agency team members about your new project. Our team will absolutely be delighted to help you achieve your goals. Tom, over to you.
As CEO of BuddyBoss, I haven't been able to fully focus on the bigger picture here at BuddyBoss and the overall vision of the company. Instead, I've been often working on the day-to-day running of operations, and we've been making a transition in the company that I want to share with you. Graham has been a customer of ours since 2016, then joined us as a customer support manager at the start of 2021. Since then, he's worked across customer success for our app customers and also as a product owner in our development team. A year ago, both Michael and I approached Graham to take over the day-to-day running of the company as managing director, and we've been slowly transitioning to make this a his full role. Graham is passionate and highly dedicated to the success of BuddyBoss, but also how our product impacts you and your own customers. He uses that knowledge to channel energy across our teams and make sure we're moving to new heights. So this is why I am now naming Graham as the new managing director of BuddyBoss. This change will allow me to focus on the vision and future success of the company, planning our next moves, the company's finances, innovation, and overall growth of BuddyBoss as part of a larger ecosystem. This also means the type of updates I'll communicate to you will have more to do with the macro and larger vision of the company, with big projects rather than specific product features and improvements. And therefore, Graham will be handling most of the communication related to the product and day-to-day operations of BuddyBoss. Graham has big plans, and shortly we'll be publishing a full behind-the-scenes podcast episode which goes through this decision in greater detail and explains further changes inside the company, including the introduction of a technical product manager and a product strategist. Of course, I'll continue working closely with Graham and the leadership team to drive forward the vision and direction, so you'll continue to hear from me. Working on the business rather than in the business gives me a different perspective, which will help me come up with new ways to allow BuddyBoss to align with our mission. And that leads me to a huge project that we've been working on for over a year now. Introducing Rapid, a cloud hosting solution built from the ground up for dynamic WordPress websites and apps, ideal for BuddyBoss sites and apps, e-learning, WooCommerce, and other dynamic type WordPress-powered platforms. Over the last couple of years, we've noticed that one of the biggest challenges our customers have been facing is finding adequate hosting for their BuddyBoss websites and apps. And the reality is that there is no ideal hosting solution on the market. BuddyBoss is a community platform, and it allows users to do all kinds of things within it, such as posting an activity, reading notifications, sending messages, and more. And when you have a number of users online at the same time performing all these activities, the server and database are hit hard, and that's just the nature of what we do. In addition to that, many WordPress hosting providers have been blocking API requests, which is what the BuddyBoss app relies on since it's built with a headless approach. All of this led to us wanting to create our own solution that solves all of these issues and can handle the concurrent users of a community, e-learning platform, and other types of dynamic WordPress-powered platforms. And this is where Wes comes in. Wes is a highly experienced infrastructure architect who's been involved in tech since the beginning of the internet. He even wrote several books, including books on how to use the good old Netscape. Wes stood out in the BuddyBoss community. He's helped hundreds of BuddyBoss customers build a custom hosting setup using his perfectly tuned cloud hosting setup recipe, ideal for running BuddyBoss websites and apps. So we spoke to Wes, and we decided to bring him on board and build a whole team around him that can help build a more robust cloud hosting solution that can be a perfect fit for all BuddyBoss customers, but also all dynamic WordPress-powered apps. We've now been working on this project for over a year. We've also been running a private beta with a few of our BuddyBoss customers, and we plan to open up the beta in about 2 months. We also expect to be fully live before the end of the year. Rapid comes with many benefits. It's been tuned for websites and apps that have high user concurrencies and has been built from the ground up with BuddyBoss customers in mind. It handles spikes in traffic by boosting performance automatically thanks to auto-scaling and predictive scaling technology. Our private beta customers have been blown away with Rapid and how much of a drastic difference it made on their BuddyBoss-powered websites and apps. And we can't wait for you to experience this new, highly innovative cloud hosting solution. So that's it for this month's update. A lot of exciting new features on the way, a new managing director, and a soon-to-launch cloud hosting solution. If you're excited about the details shared today, do leave a comment below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you can always be notified when we post a new video. And Graham will see you on the next BuddyBoss update.